What is up, everybody? This is Phil, the Kaiju King. I am back here in my video now. I'm going to do a viewer request video by, hope I get this right, Zilla Kaiju Madness Man. And he wanted me to do a video on what is your favorite Mechagodzilla in your collection, or just your favorite Mechagodzilla in general from the Godzilla film history. I think I've put it out there in a previous video of mine on my channel. I have I think it's called X Plus Metal Mayhem or something on my archives. It's about Mechagodzilla. But this one I'm just asking my viewers, what is your favorite rendition of Mechagodzilla? Of course, Mechagodzilla started in 1974 toward the end of the Showa era, which ended in 1975. But Mechagodzilla was, of course, created by the evil aliens that come to Earth and trying to take over the Earth. And they create an image of Godzilla in a metal form, a cyborg, a robot form. And they try to use this robot to defeat and take over the Earth with that, the movie, that's my favorite movie, 74, personally. It's a great film, fun kaiju action, crazy zany aliens and stuff, but I love the kaiju action in it. I do love the story of it and everything, and I like some mythology there with King Caesar, in my opinion, and it's pretty cool how they bring him up to be. And I think King Caesar is a pretty cool design, but Mechagodzilla, to me, here's the beginning, the 74 and the 75, they were really, to me, this is Godzilla's archenemy, in my opinion. I feel like he's gave Godzilla his toughest battles over this course of the film history that I've included Mechagodzilla, and in 74, he really put the beat down on Godzilla in the worst way. I mean, if you watch the movie and if you see my collection of custom collectibles, you've seen what Mechagodzilla can do to Godzilla in that film, and he really put the hurt on him really badly. So my personal favorite is the 1974-75 Showa era original Mechagodzilla, but everyone has their own preference, and that's cool and that's fine. But it's just, for me, I have to go with what I grew up with and what I remember fondly in my childhood, which was the Showa era Mechagodzilla. Then of course we move into the Heisei era Mechagodzilla, 1993. And of course I have both X Plus versions right here, the X Plus 30 centimeter standard release, and the Rick release is Super Mechagodzilla with the Garuda on his back and the pulse cannon type guns here on his shoulder. This Godzilla here is very different from the Showa era Mechagodzilla as far as design, in my opinion. He does hold the similarities of the big arrow on his head here and spikes and scales and stuff, but he's a much more aerodynamic and rounded version of Mechagodzilla. Everything on him is much more rounded off and aerodynamic, in my opinion, but he does look cool, and I enjoyed that film. It's pretty good. He almost defeats Godzilla in the film. If it wasn't for the help of the Miki Sagusa, I believe, she helped Godzilla to come back in the film, and it's another example of Mechagodzilla had Godzilla beat, like in the 74. He really does put a hurt on Godzilla in the films he's in. But 93, I do enjoy that film. It's a entertaining film, and also you throw in Fire Rodan, which is cool. They did that. Brought back an old Toho original kaiju along with Mechagodzilla. But this here is the Stay Puft Mechagodzilla, I would say. He's the the biggest of them, and this is a big X Plus figure too, by the way, but it shows in the figure and on screen because he is a big, puffy Mechagodzilla, so to speak, but he's very plump and rounded, I would say. But I do enjoy that film. I do enjoy the kaiju fighting in it, and like I said, this 1993 Mechagodzilla almost defeated Godzilla in that film. Then we'll move on to the Heisei era here. Of course, this is Mechagodzilla in the Heisei era, aka Kiryu. I got all three versions of the X Plus Kiryu. Now this Godzilla, to me, this Mechagodzilla or Kiryu really is more familiar to the Showa era, in my opinion. Pardon me. In my opinion, it's way more similar to the Showa era Mechagodzilla in design and everything. He's more rigid as far as his lines, and not as rounded off and aerodynamic as the 93. And he just holds characteristics of, to me, the Showa era Mechagodzilla, more so than the Heisei era Mechagodzilla. And once again, Kiryu really does put a hurt on Godzilla in the films. The first film, he blasts him with the, I think it's called Absolute Zero, into his chest weapon, if I'm not mistaken. And he blasts Godzilla in the chest and causes that big wound on his chest, which when he comes back in 2003, it's all scarred. His chest is all scarred and healed up like the Sakai 02, or like the original X Plus, X Plus 2003 figure. It's all scarred on the chest and everything. Well, that was the cause of Mechagodzilla, aka Kiryu. So once again, Mechagodzilla is soundly putting a butt whipping on Godzilla. He's done it very prevalent through all the films. And Mechagodzilla has a very rich history in Godzilla films and some other films now. Like he was recently in a movie from a couple years ago called Ready Player One. That was a legendary movie, by the way. Legendary Pictures, who does the MonsterVerse. Mechagodzilla appeared in that film, so that tells me they have rights, at that point at least, to Mechagodzilla. And I know there's rumor of Mechagodzilla being in Godzilla vs. Kong, and to me that actually would make sense if they have rights to Mechagodzilla already for when they did Ready Player One. Is them rights still there? You know, that's a very valid point to think of. Could Mechagodzilla show up in Godzilla vs. Kong? Because I would actually be really stoked if Mechagodzilla does show up in Godzilla vs. Kong. Personally, that's me. This is my second favorite villain to Godzilla, basically. Him and Ghidorah, Mechagodzilla and King Ghidorah are probably tied for second. But if I had to choose one, it would be Mechagodzilla. I just feel like he is Godzilla's archenemy in my view, in my eyes, my personal opinion. But like I said, all through the years from 74 to 2003, all these three versions of Mechagodzilla have held very well against Godzilla in all their battles, and they've really put a hurting on Godzilla each and every time, in my opinion. Like I said at the beginning, here's my favorite, personal favorite, the Showa era Mechagodzilla. Very cool design. I like the design of the original Mechagodzilla. It's hard to beat, in my opinion. The one thing that Heisei Godzilla holds well with the Showa era Mechagodzilla are the metal dorsal plates on his back are very similar to the Showa era, whereas Kiryu's are more thinner and longer and spaced out. But the dorsal plates on the Heisei Mechagodzilla and the Showa Godzilla are pretty similar as far as design-wise. But the Showa is my favorite, my personal favorite. It always has been and always will be. I like how Mechagodzilla has been portrayed through the years. Of course, in Showa era, he was an evil, dastardly villain. And in these two eras, Mechagodzilla was actually used by Japan, built by Japan to defend the world against Godzilla. So in essence, Mechagodzilla is a good guy in both the Heisei and the Millennium era, which is pretty crazy. But of course in Showa, he was totally evil 100%. And I look forward to any other Mechagodzilla figures they have coming. Of course, X Plus has announced that there is a gigantic series Mechagodzilla, I believe 1974, coming. And that will be really awesome and really cool to have a gigantic series figure that is not a Godzilla, in my opinion. It would be pretty cool. And I will for sure probably get that thing when it comes out, because it just looks really cool. Also, with that being released, the 1974 gigantic Mechagodzilla, I'm hoping X Plus turns around and says, hey, let's give him his counterpart. Let's do the 1974 Godzilla. That would be really cool if they had that to come out eventually down the line to go with that gigantic Mechagodzilla. We get a gigantic Godzilla 74. That would be really, really, really neat. But like I said, I love Mechagodzilla. To me, he is the arch enemy of Godzilla, because he has the resemblance of Godzilla, but yet he is the enemy to Godzilla and the adversary of Godzilla in many films. I mean, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 films here, I think. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different films Godzilla and Mechagodzilla have battled in. 5 great fights, in my opinion, and I hope there's more to come in the future, because I will certainly be on board if it happens, because this guy is a really, really intimidating opponent for Godzilla in all these forms. But like I said, Showa is my favorite. I would like you guys to just, if you want to comment and subscribe and comment below, tell me who is your favorite rendition of Mechagodzilla. Is it the Showa? Is it the Heisei? Or is it the Millennium Era Mechagodzilla, aka Kiryu? You can comment below and let me know, and we'll have some conversation about it, hopefully. But I do love this character, like I said. I love the design and the whole origin story even of the 74 Mechagodzilla, how he came to be and what the purpose of using him was. So very dastardly Mechagodzilla in 74 and 75, as opposed to the Heisei and the Millennium, where he was, to me, in essence, a good guy. So, but he was a weapon for Japan, and they were trying to just defend themselves against Godzilla, and really they were trying to exterminate Godzilla with Mechagodzilla, and it never really ever happened, because Godzilla managed to survive Mechagodzilla barely. In a lot of these instances, barely he survived him. Alrighty, everybody, I will bring the camera closer and just take a quick pan around of these guys. I want to thank everybody. Well, like I said again, if you want to comment below, let me know what your favorite Mechagodzilla is. That would be cool. I like to thank everyone that supports my channel and tunes in. And if you like to comment below. Like the video if you like it. And this is Phil, the Kaiju King, from my collection room here in Greater Cincinnati, and I want to wish you all a very blessed day.